Welcome back, welcome back. Now, the Canadian singer-songwriter Martha Wainwright has a remarkable musical heritage. Daughter of folk singer Kate McGarrigle and 60s icon Loudon Wainwright III, Martha and her older brother Rufus, you know Rufus too, have both carved out hugely successful musical careers in their own right. Martha has just recorded her third album, a tribute to France's most famous singer probably, Edith Piaf. But before we speak to Martha, here is a quick clip of her recording in New York, performing in New York live, which was going to become part of the CD.
Entraînés par la foule qui s'élance et qui danse, une folle farandole, nos deux mains restent soudées. Et parfois soulevés, nos deux corps élancés s'envolent et retombent tous deux épanouis, dénivrés et heureux.
Well, now, that's absolutely fascinating because the backing and so on is very Edith Piaf.
Yes.
And you didn't set out to impersonate Edith Piaf, but you can hear her in every word, really, can't you?
I can't seem to escape it. You know, I wanted to, I hired some young New York musicians, and we tried to approach the songs with a new sound, with although staying true to the original, but because so many of these songs were written specifically for Edith, she just comes out right away. From the moment I open my mouth, she's in the room. Her spirit is that large. It's kind of amazing.
And so, what was it? Was it her spirit that persuaded you to do this?
Well,
album?
I have to admit, it wasn't at all my idea to do it. It was the producer's idea. In fact, that when the guy called Hal Wilner, who's a fantastic and brilliant man, and when he asked me about 4 years ago if I would be interested in this project, my first instinct was to say no, because I thought she was just too famous, really. And then also the film had come out a year or so after that, and I was thinking, God, I don't want to seem like I'm jumping on an Edith Piaf bandwagon. But he sent me over 200 songs, which I listened to, this producer, and I was mostly drawn to some of the lesser known ones, and then I felt that perhaps there was really a story to be told here, not so much a story about her life, which is usually the emphasis, but more just to focus on the music and the oeuvre of the music.
Yeah, and so it was her spirit, really, that got to you, was it?
Of course. I mean, she was my favorite singer as a kid. My brother introduced me to her music when I was about 7 or 8 years old. We found records in my mother's record collection, and her almost reckless abandon in the way that she sang, and her complete willingness to give all of herself, really, I began my love affair with singers like that, and I think inspired me a little bit to sing the way that I do. And so she was always a favorite of mine.
Now, I assume it was a plus, but was it in some ways a minus? This fantastic family you have, this musical family, was it inevitable that you would be a singer? Did it make things easier for you in terms of getting opportunities, or did it make it tougher for you in the sense that people were that much more critical of you because there was Rufus and there was Loudon and
I'm sitting here with you, Sir David, so obviously it's made it easier, I think. I would be foolish to think that it hasn't, and also, you know, my parents and my brother have been, I'm a huge fan of all of them, so I'm very lucky in that way that I haven't had to try and fight their talent and their brilliance, you know, and I've tried to take advantage of it as much as I can, especially by having them on my albums. You know, they're very inexpensive to use your parents and things. But I think, you know, I think of course it's helped me. It's also shown me from an early age the difficulties of being in the music business, which perhaps sometimes people forget about, and the struggles that can exist. But certainly singing together as a family, and you know, the literal harmony that's created is a very powerful one.
And you're getting together to perform again on December the 9th,
December
the Christmas
9th,
show.
The Christmas show. I'll be back here December 9th at the Royal Albert Hall. I wouldn't miss it for the world, although I'll be very large.
Yes.
I'll be very pregnant.
Yeah, very pregnant.
Yes, yeah, but
How
I'm 7 months now, so you know.
Yeah. Have you found out whether it's
No,
a boy or a girl?
no. I want the moment of the most amount of pain to be at least a surprise in that way. So, yeah.
But and when you get together as a family, I mean, what can one expect of your family show, as it were?
Well, I think you know. I mean, I'd like to think that the Christmas show will be fun, yes, but also there's a serious element to it. You know, my mother, Kate McGarrigle, and Rufus they're kind of quite, I would think, serious artists, and so there'll be some beautiful selections of songs, and as well as bringing in English guests. This is why we're having it in London. We're going to have people like Boy George and French and Saunders and Guy Garvey from Elbow, and I believe Annie Lennox, and so there'll be. You know, it'll be an English Christmas as well.
An English Christmas.
Yes.
And a Canadian Christmas too, of course, I suppose. But, I mean, your family obviously, which was your first language when you grew up?
I spoke English at home and French at school because we had to do school.
Extremely confusing.
Yeah,
yes,
it was.
Yeah.
Basically, I can spell badly in both. Yeah.
Excellent, excellent. So who's next, though, in terms of after Edith Piaf?
After Edith, then back on to me. I want to make another record of my own songs, which I've started doing. I was asked to write some music for an incredible ballet choreographer named Christopher Wheeldon, and this sort of sparked my next album. And so hopefully, you know, if everything's easy enough with this new lifestyle, you know, I'll be able to write some songs in the spring and get something out by next year.
Fantastic. And this album, the Piaf album, is called Sans fusil ni souliers à Paris, which I gather means without guns, barefoot in Paris?
Yes.
What does that mean?
I don't know. I just like the ring of it. It's a phrase from one of the songs on the record called Les Grognards, Grenadiers, that speaks very touchingly of Napoleonic soldiers, and I think it's her asking Parisians to rise up and march for the remembrance of those who died for their freedom, and so I just thought it was a very powerful image.
Well, it's great to have you with us. Merci beaucoup.
Bienvenue.
Thanks a lot.
Yes.
And happy days in 2 months' time.
Yes.
All the best. Well, do you feel lucky? In fact, I mean, clearly, you feel lucky.
I do.
And you are lucky, and rightly so. Well, today, Friday the 13th, many people feel is positively unlucky. But can we control our fate? Find out all the answers after this short break.